What's up? What's up? Polo Sports Talking ENT here again with another one. Make sure you hit the like and hit the sub, comment. Also hit the notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Okay. I want to give a shout out to the whole Lions Den, basketball and boxing, and I want to give a shout out to all my subs who constantly support me and stand 10 toes down while I'm building over here in this on this channel. I'm gonna talk about CP3 right now. Okay, Don Lovato, I see you in the building. Thank you for pulling up, and I'm gonna address this, and I'm gonna address your comment in just a second. Now, look, it wasn't. It's no surprise that he's gonna go ahead and remain with the Suns. Okay, and Chris Paul does have a contract for at least 3 years, and it's for 90 million. Now he holds a 44.2 million option on his contract for next season, and that would allow him to opt out and become an unrestricted free agent. Okay, and then he then resign with the club for multiple years. Now, this is another twist that a lot of people don't understand and can't fathom with. I know probably my boy Hitman X. Shout out to Hitman X too. If you haven't subbed to his channel, definitely sub to his channel. Definitely brings a lot of good basketball content. See, a lot of people didn't realize this, that everybody was talking about New York and everybody was talking about uh, L.A. how they were interested in Chris Paul. But believe it or not, the Pelicans were eager to get Chris Paul, and it would have I felt it would have been great for him because he would have returned back to New Orleans where he was somewhat successful when they had him, David West, Tyson Chandler, and then of course Monty Williams at the coaching end. But the thing about it is that a lot of people don't notice that Willie Green has a good relationship with Chris Paul. Okay, and a lot of people didn't understand that Chris Paul was trying to get Willie Green hired as an assistant when he played for H Town. Okay, and so and then of course Willie Green was he was amongst the Suns and everything, and so he knows Chris Paul. He knows what type of person he is, and I think that would have helped. It would have helped them out a lot, especially in the locker room, more so than the actual floor. Now, no doubt he would have been good on the floor, but it's really his veteran presence that would be able to help out guys that were on that roster, especially. I mean, if they would have kept Lonzo in that trade or whatnot, it definitely would have helped them out. It would have helped Lonzo out a lot because I think him being under, see, case in point, okay, you have a player like Reggie Jackson. Okay, Reggie Jackson, he's got talent. We know that he could play, but he makes a lot of mistakes in which a veteran, a savvy veteran like a Rajon Rondo would be able to talk to him and explain to him, okay, hey, look, give him a few pointers, and then that will allow his game to go to a whole nother level. And it's the same thing that Chris Paul has done with Cameron Payne. He's done it with D Book, because even though D Book, he's playing a different position, it might be it it, it might be beneficial for Book, because he might be put in a situation where he has to run the one. He might have to play the point guard role. And so if you look at it and put it in context in terms of that, it would have worked out great for New Orleans. I wouldn't have wanted him to go to New York. And that's one of the things I was telling Hitman. Is I said, man, ain't no way in hell I would want him to go to New York. Now I know my partner Will was talking about how he knows Leon Rose and them, and shout out to Will too. But I wouldn't have wanted him to go to New York, because see, the thing about it is that you're gonna have to go through a whole nother you're gonna have to change you're gonna have to go through a whole nother dynamic change. Uh you're gonna have to get familiar re-familiar with the offense. I know he's one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. I know he don't have championships on his resume or anything like that, but no doubt he's still a viable asset to a team, and he's proved that when healthy, he can actually actually supersede expectation, and he did that, and he just came up short when he when they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. So I wouldn't have wanted him to go to New York. He would have had to. He would have been working with a young roster. Yeah, I know he was working with a young roster in Phoenix, but I just don't think that it would have panned out that great for him. Plus, he would have had to adapt to Coach Thibodeau's system, which I have no doubt in my mind he would have been able to do. He's a USA pedigree, but at the same token, we have to understand that you you don't want to change stuff too much. That's the same thing that I was saying about the Lakers. You don't want to tweak stuff too much. You know, uh, Chris Paul still has, I would say, when healthy, Chris Paul has at least a good 3 years, a good 2 to 3 years. Because he's been injured quite a bit, but the style that he plays, he can last a little bit longer than most. He's not running and jumping and landing so much. When you play that type of a style of game, your career won't last that long. Case in point with D Wade. Now D Wade did play for quite a bit, but he could have played a little bit longer had it not been for him playing the reckless style that he played. Um, and we'll just have to see what happens. Do I think that Phoenix could become a dynasty? I know some people were questioning that. They absolutely could. At the same token, it starts with winning, though. They definitely would have uh, to get that chip up under their belt, and they were one step closer. They Phoenix had a phenomenal season. People, I just think it's a crying shame that some people they look at Phoenix, like a 1 year wonder or something like that, like they'll never get back in. That's not the case, man. Now Phoenix has opened up the floodgates. Shoot, you got to look at these other teams that nobody was looking at. You got to pay attention to a team like Utah. You got to pay attention to a team like Atlanta. You have to pay attention to these teams. You know, I'm happy that Chris Paul is staying. There's no doubt in my mind that they can do some things. And this was another thing too. People forget that Chris Paul, when he went to OKC, he made him somewhat relevant again, like bringing them to the playoffs, and there was some hope there. You know, a lot of people didn't know that New Orleans though was trying to bring in Paul last off season. You know, before he even went to OKC. You know, and my thing is this: don't don't lose sight of the fact that this guy is still one of the top point guards that ever played this game. Now, I'm gonna address Don Lovato's comment. He says, "Lupolo, yes, I knew CP3 was staying. That that wasn't a surprise. There's no way he's taking a pay cut just to come to the Lakers." Now, see, I have to. Okay, it's not that I'm disagreeing, but I think Chris Paul would be willing to do that because he wants a championship. You know, there's a lot of veterans that are willing to take a pay cut just so they can have that chip. Now, most of the younger guys that are playing, they're not going to do that. But like a older player, an older savvy veteran like Chris Paul, he's gonna be willing to do that. He's gonna be willing to do that. If he would have did that, I I would understand why. You know, people look at Chris Paul like he has done nothing in this league, right? And they look at him as, oh, a jerk. He's difficult to play with and everything. When that's not the case. You're talking about an 8.3, 18 and 9 individual. What he's averaged. He's because he's averaged 18.3 uh, points per game and 9.4 assists. Right now, another thing that you also have to understand is for every okay, look, a lot of people don't realize that leading the league in assists at a high level and doing it late in what he did it in 14. He did it in '08 and '09 and 15. Then he led the league in steals in '08, '09, 11 and 14. He's always been there. He's always been NBA All Defensive First Team. He's always he's an 11-time All Star. You know, this guy's resume, it speaks for himself. It speaks for himself. So the only thing that he needs to do is to get that chip in order to complete everything. And the reason why I brought all that up, Don Lovato, is because he's accomplished so much like money is not really it's not really necessary for him at this stage of his career. And I think that he enjoys being with the Suns. I think the organization has revitalized him. Yes, did he have some little knick-knack injuries? Yeah, but it didn't keep him out for the playoffs like it did in Houston. Like it messed him up in LA when he was with the Clippers. I'm just glad that he's likely to stay with Phoenix because I don't want Chris Paul to go nowhere, man. I'm like this. You want to go when everything is hot, but see, in the past we've seen players, everything. Oh yeah, you know what? I want my money, then bounce, and guess what? Their career goes astray. Um, like with Dwight Howard, okay. Like, see, the thing about Dwight Howard is nobody wanted Dwight Howard. Nobody wanted Dwight Howard. Everybody was everybody was kind of like blackballing him and scooting him to the side and didn't want him, and he was 1 foot out of the league. But then they took a chance on him and he went with a story franchise. The story franchise, sort of like the Cowboys. They give their organization of second chances. I would say out of the Cowboys, and I know Wade Wood is gonna come up in here trying to debunk something because that's what he does. Um, the Cowboys, the Lakers, and the Spurs. It used to be New York, believe it or not. They're all a place of second chances. Okay, I'm talking about like in terms of, okay, you know what? You always have a home here. You could come back over here. You'll be good to go. You could be on the roster. Miami was becoming like that a little bit too because I mean Udonis Haslam is still on on the roster and he's still in the locker room to some degree. I'm happy for Chris Paul. Just stay where you at, man. Don't try to go any of these other places. If you take a pay cut, that's great, but Phoenix is on the road right now. Believe it or not, if they make some key moves, they could actually compete for another championship. I don't see because everybody's gonna be too busy trying to emulate Phoenix's style, but Phoenix has something up under their sleeve that I don't think a lot of people are ready for. And to me, it's Jalen Smith, which nobody is talking about right now. Once they unleash Jalen Smith and he gets familiar with the system and the league and how the NBA game is played, and he already has a military background, oh, that's a wrap. All right, man. Wait, what, man? What you coming to debunk today, man?
You over here starting with some caps. Hey, listen, man. Listen. First of all, shout out to Photo. Shout out to the chat. Um, Salute to the panel. Listen, man. CP3. If the Pelicans are, if you hear me out there, CP3. If the Pelicans is out there looking for you and they want you to become their floor general, imagine that story where he was drafted at is actually buying, like, you know what I'm saying, actually going back home. If you think about it, he's going back home.
Well, first off,
To
let me hold on. Let me stop you right there. I know you didn't think that I heard you in the first. Did you just say stop with the cap?
yeah,
Okay, let
yeah.
me let me
Like
stop you right there. Hold on,
Jalen Smith, he's
hold on,
listen. Like you made
hold
it seem
on,
like he's the missing piece. They still ain't
hold
answered their
on,
question. Go
hold
ahead,
on, hold on, hold
go
on,
ahead.
hold on. First off,
Preach, preach to
first
me.
off, first off, nothing that I said was cap at all because I had actually said that that would have been a great thing if you go back and listen, that's see, it's probably it's people like you, Wayward, that get in the uproar and are at a prisoner of the moment sometimes, or a prisoner of words, I should say. Okay, this is what I said. Okay, now let me kind of reiterate what I said. I said that him going
Go for
back
it.
to New Orleans would be a perfect situation somewhat because he was cool with Willie Green. He lobbied for Willie Green when he was in H Town for him to be an assistant. That's number one. And the number two thing that I did say is that him playing with Lonzo Ball would give him some tutelage because when you put him, go back and you talk about all these archives and going back, going to go receipts and all this other stuff. Go rewind it back after this video said. I said that case in point, Rondo being a tutelage for Reggie Jackson, and look how his game took his game to a whole nother level. Him playing up under a guy like Chris Paul, I'm saying if New Orleans kept him, that would be great for him. So I thought that it would have been a great career move for him, and plus he was somewhat successful when he was there. His first go round when he was with New Orleans, when they had David West and when they had Tyson Chandler, and it was Monty Williams and those guys. So that's what I said in the beginning. I didn't automatically shoot it. I didn't rule out that idea. So where was the cap at?
All right. If you would let me finish, like I appreciate all that extra information. But I wasn't even on that. I was talking about your boy Jalen Smith. When you saying that, like you made it seem like he's that missing
Oh,
piece for them. Like,
okay, okay, all right.
and also,
Uh-huh.
let's be honest though, nobody's emulating Phoenix. They was a losing team. Everybody emulating the
That
Milwaukee
doesn't that
Bucks
doesn't
by
mean
getting
anything.
bigger,
They made it to the
but they're
finals.
getting bigger. No, no, I'm saying like teams gonna emulate what Milwaukee did because they won
That's
straight
not
four
true.
games straight. It wasn't like let me like I said because the fact that they didn't have first of all, hey, let me ask you a question. Phoenix, they first pick, which they traded off, which is the 29th pick. They got a big guy. They got a center. They got a power forward, and they sent it to him. They sent him to us. So for the simple fact that unless they finna go on free agency and grab big men for Aiden for a backup, because they don't got no big man besides Aiden, and that's the reason why they got the ass whooped. Besides Coach Bud, because he can coach all over the place. Um, and I did call it. Go back to the archive. I did say Bucks and six after they was down 0-2. It was no cap. It was no like gassing. You trying to be funny? Nah, it was just legit hoop ideas and views that I'm seeing from because I'm a hooper. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing that they actually playing fundamentals and they getting back to what it is: attack the paint. They couldn't stop Giannis. Bah bah bah. So in the same situation of what I'm saying, if he goes if he goes to Pelicans, first of all, Lonzo is out of there. If he do go there, because Lonzo is already getting the offer sheet that he wanted from Chicago, and I feel like honestly that the reason why you're hearing CP3 name for Pelicans because of the simple fact that Lonzo is about to hit him with the two deuces. I'm out. Because regardless, I don't feel like they will match the highest order because if they do that, they're gonna put themselves in over the cap because you already got Bi, and then you got Zion coming up, and then you got Lonzo, and then you got all the other pieces that, and then you got what they got, and they got what you call a kid from Memphis, um, uh, the overseas young boy. So he getting his pay. So they tight on money. So like I said, if they gonna get CP3, they're gonna have to end up putting that bread out there. So they're gonna have to pay big bucks. You know what I'm saying? So once they pay that big bucks, no way Lonzo's staying. Uh, like I said, CP3 is the president of the Player Association. So for him to go out here and take pay cuts, it don't make sense because he got to be the example of like I gotta get the best value of what I can get for my value. If you go out here and taking pay cuts like a D Rose, and they're gonna look bad on the team, and they just like that's when you're not really letting your value be true what it is. You're not even out of your prime ish. You know what I'm saying? After what Drew Holiday kind of shut him down, he might be. Drew Holiday shut that shit down for 4 games straight. So he might be just on that edge. It'd be a beautiful run going back to the team that drafted you. It'll be cute,
Well,
and you also can and you can really have a stable in that town, especially if you can be able to elevate a Zion and a BG, the BI, and actually use some pieces that the Lakers gave you and really flip it on them heads, and it'd be even sweet if you can really get them to, like, let's say, the finals or something like that. But like I said, I doubt he will leave because you came so close. Well, you had a situation with the Houston Rockets, but at the time that was between their star player not wanting him. This star player, as in Devin Booker, he do want a CP3, so they're gonna definitely hopefully he opt in. If he can opt in, that'd be beautiful. But if he try to like opt out and then get like re up on like 3 or 4 years, if you try to get a 4 year deal from Phoenix, Phoenix do not make that deal. Do not make that deal because you'll put yourself
I'm,
in tremendous debt.
if he,
I'll just let him hop in, or I give him a 2 year. I give him a 2 year, 45 mil. Um, 20 the first year, probably 25 the second year. But that's it. I'm not getting him motherfucking 4 years, 3 years, 100, and no, fuck no, hell no. That's insane.
I mean, I somewhat agree with you on that what you just said. Now, just keep in mind though, wait, what when he if he opts out, it doesn't that's not really that's not a bad thing. I know you're talking about opt in, but I'm just saying if he did opt out, he'll be an unrestricted, and then he could resign with the club for for multiple years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking he would take that option if like let's say they go and they go on a run and then they ultimately win the chip, then that option right there, because then okay, everything's on fire, marketing coming. I and this is another thing. That boy James Jones, man, that dude, because he was executive of the year. That dude got a master plan. Now, let me tell you why, and let's back up because I know you want to do the broom and sweep this into the dustpan and try to throw it away and the subject that we talked about. Let's get back to the meat and potatoes of things. Okay. Listen, whether you win or whether you lose, your team still made it to the finals. You beat everybody in the West. So teams are and this is another thing, wait, what a lot of people, yeah, Milwaukee won. I give them Milwaukee. They won and everything. But in terms of how their offense was structured, and in terms of if you look at how they did things on the floor, most people are going to say Phoenix had the better offense. Okay, and they had better schemes, but the it was unfortunate that Milwaukee made the game how you're supposed to make the game. They disrupted everything. They made the game sloppy. I said that from the get. So there are going to be teams that are going to emulate both teams, win or loss. That's just like when I'll give you a prime example. When Detroit had won against the Lakers and then they ultimately lost, there were a lot of people that were emulating the Detroit Pistons and how they played. You had one dominant a big man that would dominating force on just the defense, and then you had a whole lot of other players that could do several different things, and the ball never stuck to just one person or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whereas there were other teams that were trying to do everything and they weren't successful at it. That's why the Spurs, they were successful even though they didn't repeat, but they were winning. You know, one year, then they lose the next year, then they win again, and they stuck with the same bread and butter. And Tim Duncan, as he got older, that's another thing. You were talking about pay cut. Hey, case in point, Tim Duncan, man, he took a pay cut and he was 38, 39 years old. And guess what? They ended up winning the chip. They ended up winning the chip. So listen, man, I know that you think like, oh yeah, man, they lost. Ain't nobody looking at them. Yes, they are. People can still look at them and see like what made them successful. And then when you get up to that top of that hill, they'll be like, okay, well, what can we do differently in order to win? They're going to emulate both of them guys. I can guarantee you. The pick
All
and
right,
roll
so
is
so
something that
po-
it's a pick and roll league, man.
so so Polo. All right. First of all, one, you cap all the way through. One, they did not beat the best team in all the West. First of all, first round they did not their opponent, they did not have their best player. Second round, they did not have their second best player. Third round, which is the Eastern Western Conference
Oh my
Finals, they did
God, here
not have
you
their best
go. You
player,
one of
and they
them.
still was taking more than 5 games on each level.
Right.
And then when they finally made it to the finals and they actually played a complete team who's their first, second, and third player is healthy. So and they lost in six. So it's so much you could take away, as in against like a 1 star or probably a good team but not really
Okay, who
great
you
team.
talking? Are you talking about Phoenix?
Yeah, first round, AD did not play properly,
Okay, and
wasn't healthy.
no, he had
Second
a
round,
chance to play, but they
huh?
still had their
Sec-
superstar. That's no excuse.
second round, second round,
Second
Nuggets,
round, they
and
listen. They
and
listen.
Jamal Murray was not playing. Third
That
round,
okay. They still
Kawhi
had
Leonard.
Jokic, and he was an MVP, in which they looked over. It's
Come
CP3
on.
that was supposed to be the MVP,
So let me ask you a question.
and they had Michael
Do you
Porter
feel
Jr.
like, yo, come on, bro, come on? Like, it's
Yeah.
like what you saying right now. You got a team that's fully healthy of all their players compared to their
Hmm.
second best player, who
Well, they
is
weren't
a
fully
point
healthy
guard.
because Chris
They
Paul.
second.
Remember, he wasn't he wasn't he was had little knick-knack stuff going on too.
Was he on the court? Yeah, no.
He was on the court, but he wasn't a
Like
hundred percent.
I get it, I get it, I get it. If it was like a James Harden situation where he can't move, he can still move. Like his legs were still moving. Like you know what I'm saying? And the simple fact
You
that
want to know?
you're not
So
seeing the
you're
possibility
gonna take away
of
that from Phoenix. So wait, you can't do that, man. You
no,
still
I
at
did
the end
not.
of the
I
day,
didn't
it's the
see.
next man up
I'm not.
mentality.
I'm not. Listen, if I did that, I'd do the same thing for Milwaukee because they beat us without our two best players. So, like I said, I wouldn't. I'm not going to do that. I'm just pointing out the
Okay,
obvious. Like,
so let
look,
me ask you this
don't
then. Let me
gas
put
him
your
like
feet.
that.
No,
You
no,
know
no.
what I'm
Let me
saying?
put your feet to the fire. Then
What's
wait,
up?
what? I'm gonna put your feet to the fire since you bringing this up. If y'all were
What's
healthy,
up?
would Milwaukee have beat y'all?
Come on, bro. We both know the answer.
No,
We both know the
I'm
answer.
asking
Even
you,
if I just had Kyrie,
huh?
I don't like to do ifs, but I don't like to do ifs. But the data game from game one to game three, that's
Hmm.
enough data. We was up 2-1. You know, we go
Hmm.
another three spans a game. You got 4-2. So from the data, yeah, pay attention
Okay,
to the data.
and you know why I asked you that, right?
Go for it.
You know why I asked you that because
Why?
if you're gonna take if you're gonna take away what Phoenix has done,
I'm not taking
then
away from Phoenix. But listen,
keep the same energy for Milwaukee.
but I'm saying
You weren't
what
choosing them with a healthy Brooklyn.
I'm just saying, like, but I'm not. I'm living in this time period. If that was another dimension, which probably already happened, where they all stay
Mm-hmm.
healthy and they win a championship in 2021. That in that dimension, yeah. But right now, I'm in this timeline. I'm in this dimension, so I don't like to do the if. But like I said, if you look at the data from the first three games, and then you use them same data for the next three games, obviously the boys would have won. But I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm just saying like the fact that like first of all, they don't have a second big man. That's why I'm saying Milwaukee got every team on like mostly every team, truthfully, except for Phoenix, for Philly because they did have Dwight Howard and they did have and Joel Embiid, and they had another big guy. So Phoenix, I mean for Philly, they had the necessary needs to play against the Milwaukee, and they probably definitely would have beat Milwaukee if all their guys was healthy, fully healthy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if it's a lot of ifs. However, who was capable of handling that situation was was a Phoenix as in when it comes to the the players standpoint as in like matching the bodies to bodies. Okay, they got like 6'8" or higher on Phoenix, not Phoenix, but Philly. But if you've seen that with Phoenix, they did not have the necessary big man to keep up with Milwaukee. That's why Phoenix got thrashed. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they got the first two games, but that was off of pure shooting and certain mistakes from the first. A lot of mistakes from Milwaukee, and in them games they was pretty close. So,
Mm.
um, like I said, man, I don't think Phoenix is that blueprint everybody at. I really believe everybody is blueprinting what Milwaukee did. Even though a lot of people not giving that Milwaukee respect, shit, they disrespected Phoenix by saying Lakers and Brooklyn in the finals. You know what I'm saying? And they roster not even completed. So definitely, it's just like I said, like when we get the outside, when we get the casuals, have us actual basketball fanons argue with each other because of a casual question or something like that. It's very disturbing. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, like if he like I said, he could stay on Phoenix, but the reason I'm saying, yo, this is the most money he'll get if he opt in. If he opt out, he will not get that money again. He will not get 40 something plus per year. He's not getting that no more. I don't even care if he took us to the championship again and lost. Why CP3, bro? Are you crazy? Opt out,
No,
give him a four
well,
year deal, and
I
then
know what you're saying. I
I'm
understand.
just
I
saying, but
understand that.
like not even a 3 year. Like I said, I give him a solid 2 years, and each of them years is gonna be at least no more than 25.
How,
No more than 25,
how,
bro.
how many
Especially if it's
years?
more
How
about.
many years you think CP3 got that way with realistically?
Honestly, I don't know. That's why I read it. I read it. Stretch it out. Like my faith, I put in 2 years. If I really want to see what's popping, a year by year. That's the only way you could do because he's up there. He's in his upper 30s, not his mid 30s, not his like early
Shoot,
30s. He's
late
in his
thirties,
upper
man.
30s. You know what I'm saying?
About to be late
Yeah,
thirties.
facts. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then you gotta remember, he don't have a dominant presence as like let's say a physical beast like a LeBron who can fucking re up, and he only got 2 years extension. So he didn't even get a 4 year. He did a 2 year extension. So if LeBron can get two, boy, yeah, I better take this op in, get this money, see what y'all can go at next year. I mean this year, which is coming up. And then if it's not what it is, then you still got the Pelicans to be there because they're gonna be there. You just need them to grow more. So by the time he get over there next year, Zion a little more better. He have a little more flooring. Bi, you know what I'm saying? They can maybe get a 2-on-2 situation where it's Zion and Bi because I would not break that up. I know a lot of people want to break that up, but I would not break that up because Zion can do so many things, but you're gonna need a Bi. You're gonna definitely need a Bi because there's so many things they can do to Zion, get him in foul trouble, get him in offensive foul trouble as well. So he gotta be a little soft footed when you're on that court. Sometimes you be trying to bulldoze, and it's not the world, it's not the the Olympics. This ain't FIBA rule books. This is NBA, which is a little bitching. But like I said, you can get him in that situation. But if I got a BI and I got other pieces, especially I got a kid from Memphis, yo, that's gonna be such a opening, bro. That's what
You
I'm saying.
talking
So
Valanciunas?
honestly, yeah, honestly, I really, really believe that. First of all, one, Pelicans should deny this report that they want CP3. They should deny it hard as fuck. So you can have at least some type of respect for Lonzo to show out like yo Lonzo, because these pieces they getting, they gonna need a pure, accurate,
Man, they
true
don't need to
point guard.
deny nothing because he's been way more successful than what Lonzo would ever been with that organization.
But you gotta understand, first of all, one, you got Monty Williams and you got Devin Booker and you got Aiden in your ear at CP3, yo.
I'm talking
We
about no.
just
I'm
left
talking about
that.
when he was with
No, no, no,
remember
no,
when,
no, no. Listen, what I'm saying, I'm talking about NO need to denounce the whole call that they trying to get him now, because
yeah,
you want to
nah,
boost up
they're not getting
your
nah.
young point guard, which is Lonzo. Nah, bruh, that's disrespectful. So you definitely want Lonzo to bang it, because you
Yeah, but
can't
not
put
now
any type
though.
of
They not doing that
point
now
guard.
though. That was in the past though. Wait, what? They not doing that now though. In the
Oh
beginning, they
wait, they
were
not coming
trying
out
to
to
get
CP3.
in. They remember. Hey, I don't know if you remember. Wait, what? They were trying to get Chris Paul before he went to OKC. I don't know if you remember that. They were after him before.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, and then it was later. But this was in the past. They hadn't done that as of recent.
okay. Because like I said, because you don't want to like a lot of teams, and especially I really believe it's the media most often. They are going to like I said, it's not these players sensitive. They want some respect. Like yo, I'm supposed to be your point guard. You know what I'm saying? Now you know what I'm saying? Like you getting all these pieces. You getting kid from Memphis. You got Zion. You got Bi. I don't care what nobody say. You gonna need a true point guard. You don't need a Dame Lillard in that situation because Dame Lillard will fuck that up. You don't need who else a point guard out here? You don't need a Russell Westbrook in New Orleans. You don't need them type of players like that, like who shoot first then look, because you got so many options. You should definitely like a Steve Nash on his Pelicans or Jason Kidd. I'm talking about before Dallas, before he developed at three, like that. Um, just really, 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 really good basketball will be coming upon if if they keep Lonzo. I really believe this year they could definitely make the playoff as in Pelicans. And I ain't talking about
Man,
play-in. I'm talking about playoff.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
think
saying? So
Lonzo is. I think, man,
Lonzo going to
I'm gonna be
Chicago.
real with you. Wait,
Lonzo
what?
going to Chicago.
I, I'm gonna be real with you. Lonzo's setting his ways, man.
Don't do it.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
setting
don't
his
do that,
ways.
bro.
Big.
Literally, bro.
No,
Listen, bro. Like
look,
you gotta
and
understand.
see, you automatically think I'm here to shit on this game. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not one of them
No, no,
ones.
no, no. I'm
I,
not gonna come at it like that. I'm just feeling like I feel like Lonzo got the bad deal from the get go, and it's not even his father's fault. It was a
what you
situation where he
mean?
came
What
into
you
the
mean? He
I
got a
feel
bad
like
deal, man. This dude came in was a summer league
listen,
MVP and played great with Kuzma. There ain't no
yo,
bad deal.
but they did not trust him. They did not trust him. They did not trust Bi. They did not trust Jordan Clarkson. They did not trust Randall. They did not trust those young bulls, them young bulls to like just go through it. I guarantee you on everything I know, I guarantee you, if LeBron never went to LA, KD would have slid to LA.
It would have what?
If LeBron never went to LA,
Uh huh.
KD would have slid to LA.
Why you think that?
Due to the simple fact that he would have worked with that young core of what they got right there.
Uh huh.
Right, yo, that shit would have been beautiful, bro. Cause you gotta understand, like he was already praising Alonzo. He was already praising some of the different players that was on that team already before even LeBron thought about going there. And then LeBron went there, and which is kind of fucked it up because you know, you know what I'm saying, opportunity like that. Because LA was, if you look back, you know what I'm saying, like further, like probably like say let's say 2000, 2016, like 2000, like probably around 2017. You know, there was always a destination of like, yo, LA Lakers. Even Stephen A was blasting about, yo, oh, KD might fly to LA. Even him kind of fucking up that first go around in that situation before he slid to Golden State. Um, you understand? He was able, like this man looking for
What's it
these
now?
young scouts so he can really
You got
like
your tablet?
looking for them
Go
young
ahead, go get it.
bulls so you can continue growing them because they so good, bro. Like I just feel like they had a bad coach in Luke who got that shit off of some bullshit. And they actually had a good like let's do defense first and then we go to offense. And they would have had that type of mindset with that squad they had. Man, listen, man, you talking about like young bulls, man, them boy would have been up there
I,
at least up there, bro, at least.
let me tell
But
you
then
something, man.
LeBron came there. Even LeBron. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, I was gonna say this. I'm gonna let you finish though. Wait, but listen, let me tell you something, man. A lot of people think that I just automatically just doubted, what's his name, Lonzo from the jump. No, I wanted this dude to succeed because I never. I'm gonna tell you two reasons why I liked Lonzo and still do like him, but he's just gonna have to get better. I liked him because of his defense, number one, and two, because he's so unselfish. The only thing is that when you're a point guard, listen, you talk about you a hooper, you a baller, you all that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what position you play, but I know when I was playing, uh, coaches absolutely could not stand a guard or a wing player that could not finish and and wouldn't finish more consistently. You know, okay, every now and then you blow a dunk or you get to the rack, you know what I'm saying? You may have missed, but this guy was missing, you know, like layups, did not know how to finish that well right at the rack, and it's just like, man, you got all this explosiveness, all this athleticism, man. You should be making it. So that was my only thing. And then on top of that, his shot. I never even wanted him to change his shot. The way you shoot is the way you shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like I never even wanted him to change it, but you know, people in LA and all that other stuff, they're gonna try to push him. He was successful like that when he made it to the league. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That was my only thing with Lonzo. But listen, he's had so many years now. That's the same thing I was talking about earlier with Kuzma. Hey, wait, what? I said Kuzma when he came out the gate, what was he averaging? He was 16 and 2. I mean 16.2. And then that second year when he played with LeBron,
Then
guess
went
what?
up.
18.7, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
he went up.
then AD came
Yeah.
in, he came in and it messed up. It stunted his growth.
But
So okay, I will give you that. But
but
at the same time, it takes a mental fortitude that young guys ain't really ready for yet in order for you to be like, you know what, I gotta suck it up. I need to know my role. This guy has been in there longer. I'm gonna have to just take a step aside. You know what I'm saying? And also this way, what, and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna let you go. Nobody put, like I said again, and I've said this before, you probably sick of me saying it. Nobody put a gun to Kuzma's head to say, okay, hey, look, you better sign it. They didn't Suge Knight this dude. He chose to sign that contract once they won that chip.
bro, listen. First of all, come on, bro. You coming off a high. Like you expect somebody like, hey, we just won a championship, blah blah blah. All right, cool. I signed that extension. Bam, next week type of shit. Oh, Dwight Howard gone. Okay. Jelvin McGee is gone. We traded him. Not even gone. We traded him. Okay. Damn. The Montreal coming through. Okay, what are we doing? What happened to the team? We gonna run it back? No, boom. switching up. You already signed that contract. Okay, so I'm gonna just play my role. Bum bum bum. Oh, I come off the bench now. Shit, damn. There's so much shit that you go through, and it's like, fuck. He already signed that contract before all that mud started coming down. So when people say, yo, nobody he had a gun to his head, because he didn't know the gun was there. There was never no fucking gun when he was signing that shit. It was roses and berries and championships and champagne. Shit, we gonna get another one. Nigga, you just had the MVP of the fucking finals say, yeah, we got you, bro. We can do this again. Okay, shit, I gotta trust him. You know what I'm saying? I played the role that I was supposed to do. Yeah, I got it. Boom, no press. But nah, bro. They switch up the whole shit. Switch up the whole team. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like first team, only team I
But my
seen do that, as in switch up their whole team. Not even their whole team. Only team thinking about history, winning the championship and coming back next year with the next new different team is the 2019 Raptors, and they only was missing one player. So it was like, bro, you haven't seen that in years, bro, decades, fucking a thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. So that don't make sense. So they already knew it was up. That's the first fuck up. Two, like I said, when they hired Luke Walton, that's when they fucked up, especially with that young core. Like I said, you would have got a real coach out there, would have started with defense first, and then led to offense. That team would have been already having a like. They probably would have had LeBron. Let me just say he would have had LeBron. LeBron probably had 2 rings right now. He would have had 2 rings right now if they actually had a real legit head coach before LeBron getting there, and they would have been they already been developed. You know what I'm saying? Like Lou Walken, he's the type of player who developed. First of all, when he was playing, he wasn't even like that, so he couldn't really develop them boys. He
what's
was
up
he
with
can
it,
definitely
Jacob? I see you in the building, man.
he can definitely write up some plays, but he was never that player like a Steve Nash. Like Steve Nash to me is such a great coach, and he only been he and and he even do 2 years yet. The reason why I'm saying he's such a great coach coming in is one, he can teach the game and actually show the game on paper. Lou Walken can only show you on paper. He can't teach you the game because Lou Walken was never that guy. His old boy was.
Who was
Shout
it?
out to Bill Walken. Luke. Luke wasn't that guy. He
Luke
wasn't even
Walton?
like no type
Yeah,
of post move.
yeah,
He,
he. I mean, because he's having problems right now
yeah,
in
he was just a
Sacramento.
putback. I promise you, he was just a putback. I used to be a Laker. I used to be a Laker fan, especially them years with Kobe. Cause after '06, after Miami Heat won, I'm like, man, we doing too good. Let me go out here in this world. And I became a Kobe Bryant fan. Been there all the way
Mm.
through, and then KD got drafted, Seattle, OKC. You know, became that guy. And ever since then,
What?
like I said,
Well,
but
okay,
simple fact.
okay. Look. Listen, I I
Talk to me.
get what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying
Oh, so
in terms of having to go through changes and having to adapt on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Was it unfair to Lonzo? Not as much as what some people maybe be making it seem, because Magic Johnson had gave him the keys up front. And I believe the reason why he gave him the keys up front was because Magic Johnson was given the keys up front in '79. So he saw something. Listen, two of the greatest point guards to ever play in the game, in my eyes, I felt like it was Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother debate or whatever. But they have been to his backyard, ate with this guy, broke bread with this guy in Magic Johnson and in Isaiah Thomas, two of the greatest to ever do it, two of the greatest floor generals ever. And some people, Magic Johnson is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So if you're rubbing shoulders and you're breaking bread with two of the most uh, gifted point guards that ever played the game, that goes to show you that okay, they see something in you. Where Alonzo comes in is okay. You had to realize, okay, I'm not just playing for just any old organization. This is the Lakers. This is where banners are hanging up here. You know, there's a lot of expectations that are here. So I have to not only meet those expectations, I'm gonna have to exceed those expectations too. Was that unfair to him? To to some degree, yeah, but then again, no, because you should have been used to it anyway when you was over there and you had thousands of people cheering for you at Poly Pavilion in UCLA. So you should have been used to that. You should have been used to that, man, coming from Chino Hills and you played up under LeVar Ball, in which he was notorious for being being a very good coach and a very good mentor towards his boys. That's why all of them are successful. And Leandro is about to be successful too, being that he's getting ready to, he's one step closer and possibly getting on the NBA roster if he does his thing out there in the summer league. The thing about it is that I know you said that, okay, yeah, that's unfair to him and everything like that, but that's what the NBA is, though. Wait, what? That's what pro basketball is. Changes happen all the time. It it's a business, man. It's not just okay. You think about it. You know how many handshakes that LeBron has made with all these players, and then they've been gone by the next day. A lot of them. So this is a business, man. Let's not get it twisted. And he had to understand that when you come in there, man, you know what I'm saying. Look, if you don't do what's necessary, you go. You know what I'm saying. That the Lakers have little patience. That it's
Listen,
championship or bust with them.
listen, yo, listen. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. That that's
Hmm.
that that's that microwave mentality that people have nowadays. It wasn't like that when Kobe was there. It wasn't like that pre LeBron there. It's a mindset that if they want to continue growing, especially out come on,
They still had
don't make it personal.
expectations.
Yeah, but like when they didn't have expectations. They did not have, oh, you got made to the
Who?
playoffs. Lakers before LeBron got there. No,
Man,
they did not.
please.
They goal.
Man,
No,
them
no,
people
the
were
expectations is
impatient. They
different
didn't
from
have.
goals.
Hey, wait, what?
Expectations.
When Shaq and Kobe played, listen. Yeah, you might not have seen it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the, it wasn't a lot of it wasn't the internet and all that wasn't popping like that and everything like that. Social media, but boy, them LA fans, man, they was on their helmet, man, when they didn't produce. Because you gotta remember, they didn't come in just right away winning him and Shaq, Kobe and Shaq. It took them a few years. They were getting impatient. Let's not get it twisted now.
Oh, I'm not twisting nothing, my big boy. I'm just saying, like,
Go
like,
ahead, my bad.
like,
I didn't mean to
like.
cut you off, man. Go ahead, bro.
No, no, you good, you good, you good. Like I said, for example, right? Like, I'm not even gonna talk about them like that, cause they still, even when they're not even playing, them niggas still getting talked about. But like I said, man, I'm excited for tomorrow. Wait, what's tomorrow? No, the day after tomorrow, Monday. Free agency list. We gonna see, cause they gonna already have made plays already. Like I said, Phoenix just need to let him opt in, see what you can get with the money you got left over, and then you know what I'm saying. See what listen. You got Golden State coming back hard. You got you got uh, 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 you got Denver coming back hard with 8 point guard. You got Lakers coming hard, especially. Hopefully, I really want to see what they do in free agency. Cause I want to see if Andre Drummond gonna slide. I'm trying to figure out where he gonna slide at. Um, you got the Lakers, and you got who else is coming hard? Like Utah, especially if they probably re-sign Conley. But damn, his hamstring. They need to go look for another point guard too, a good one too, cause that's not gonna be able to work. Um, yo, so you know what's gonna be so crazy? I'm hearing rumors about the kid from Milwaukee, Ford. You know he ain't playing them last 3 games, right?
You said what?
You know, Bryson Ford, the kid from Milwaukee, point guard or the shooting guard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know he ain't playing the last 3 games, right?
Yeah, but what about him though? Yeah, yeah. I heard about the Forbes situation. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we gonna talk
Yeah,
about
so
that.
he gonna be yeah, but he
Yeah,
might be a
we
free
gonna
agency
we
soon.
gonna
So,
talk about that, man. Because a
but
lot of
but
people don't know that I like I'm a fan of Forbes, especially when he was in
yeah, he would
San
be nice
Antonio.
on the
I was
free
like, who
agency
is this
mark.
guy, man? Who is this small foot? This, he got real small feet. You know what I'm saying? But this dude could shoot though.
Yeah, he hit. Cause he was fucking us up in the fucking playoffs in the second round. There was a couple of times when he was just hitting them shits when it's like, fuck, man, we trying to come back. This nigga, he extended the league. Um, but yeah, dog, like I said, bro, like CP3, hop in, see what you can do this year. If not, go back to New Orleans and retire from there.
Mhm.
The greatest, maybe is he the great? I don't. Do you feel like right now at this moment? Because I'm not gonna do no future shit because that's disrespectful. At this moment, who is the best player to ever win? Who is the best player right now without a championship?
Without a championship,
He'll be top five. Yeah, right now. CP3 would be top five right now. Maybe, maybe. I'm not sure. But
yeah.
I still put Steve Nash above. So.
Who?
Charles. Uh, who else is out there? I didn't win the ring. It's really, really good. Really, really good. You got Charles. You got Carmelo. Um, Steve Nash.
Right now,
Um,
some people would have said Melo, but I think right now, what's his name is doing a little bit better playing wise. But overall, as far as their careers, it was Melo. But right now, at this stage of the game, it's CP3 because he's an MVP. He was an MVP candidate.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that because he did have a lot more opportunities to take his team to so many different places, especially when he had the Clippers.
Hmm.
When he took like I said, like he took a team like OKC to the playoffs,
Hmm.
almost knocked off Houston and them boys. So
You're not gonna put Blake Griffin in
oh,
there.
top five? Fuck no, man. You ain't see that shit? That shit. I don't know, man.
Blake
His
Griffin,
game.
man,
We not re-signing that boy.
I'm just I'm
If
disappointed in
we,
Blake Griffin, man, because I wanted Blake Griffin to be like I wanted him to supersede Charles Barkley, man.
what?
Yeah, I wanted
Blake
because
Griffin.
a lot of people were comparing him to Malone and Barkley when he came out of
Oh, he faked him in. Yeah.
Oklahoma. Yeah,
But he like he ain't work on his game. He was just playing the same shit that would kept on pushing him to make
and
him great. The same shit that gave him
injuries
that
too.
final max.
He came in right out the gateway with injury, just like Ben Simmons came in out the gate with injury. Greg Oden came out the gate with injury.
Like I said, what I feel with Blake, I always try to think like minus the injuries, bro. Minus the injuries,
Hmm.
he did not try to develop his game until he got to Detroit.
Hmm.
He didn't try to develop his game until he got to Detroit. Like, cause we got
Yeah.
like shout out to Detroit. They actually got him to take more shots, more accurate, different ways uh, of trying to score. I wish he would have done that earlier in his
What
career, so it wouldn't be nothing so crazy. He probably have a longevity, like how
what
CP3 is having a longevity in a way, as in still being valuable for a
he
contender compared to
he
just
hold
being
on. He
a
tried a
fast
little bit
value.
of wait. I don't know if you remember. He tried a little bit when he was with the Clippers. He started to kind of develop that mid range a little bit because I don't know if you remember when he was going when he would be going up against like it would be I think he went up against Memphis and he was going up against some other teams or whatnot in the West. He actually was developing that little 10 to 15 footer jump shot. Now, as far as 3 pointers and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't doing all that, but he was starting to kind of extend his game just a little bit, man.
Nah, no doubt, no doubt. Like I said, man, like
But you right though. I
especially
give you
since,
credit though, man. You right. You hit it right on the nail though, man. It was too late
cause
for him to try to go way out there on the perimeter to the point where you wasn't even dunking.
now think about it like this. Now imagine if a KD, like you one of the players I kind of follow. Imagine if a KD would have stayed with a Russell Westbrook. Would his game develop how it is now? No. I'm gonna answer that. That was a rhetorical question,
It,
but I'm gonna answer it. No, it wouldn't, because the simple fact that he wasn't able to play every different other aspect of the game. So he would have been out here just only a scorer. Like everybody keep calling him a scorer, but he's not a scorer. He's an all around player now. After once he went to Golden State and actually learned every different aspect of playing the position, off ball, his off ball game was better. Um, his defense, he had defense at OKC. A lot of people disrespect that, but his rotation, calling out certain things,
you
able to do that got better.
you're not a
Um,
more KD fan than I am. Wait, what? I'm gonna tell you something.
what you
This is
mean?
gonna shock you. Listen, wait, what? I'm gonna tell you something. This is gonna shock the shit out you. It to
All right, let me
me,
take a seat now. Let me take a seat right quick. Let me take a seat. Go ahead. I take a seat. You say you're gonna shock me,
yeah.
so I want to make
Yeah,
sure I don't
you can
fall on my ass.
record it, write it down. You could record it right now on the last day of July. Listen, KD has the prototypical basketball game that everybody should learn. I repeat, from a basketball standpoint, I would want everybody like if I had a son- if my son grew to be like 6'8", six between 6'6" and 6'10", I would want him to study a player like KD because he has everything pretty much in his arsenal and can do uh stuff on both ends of the floor, and he's really supremely gifted in terms of having feel for the game. If you look at KD's game, it's like he doesn't he plays so under control and he shoots under control. He's very poised. Then on top of that, when he like what you were saying about Golden State, like he was in top five in blocks when he went to Golden State because it was just like, oh wow, KD playing defense. He's able to move. He became a better defender playing against them, so he had so much more. So that's what I was saying. Wait, what? If there was somebody I would want them to play, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, study Jordan or study Kobe or anything like that. It would be Kevin Durant because when Kevin Durant had came into the league, wait, what? Really, when he was at Texas, I said I've never seen a guy like that. I tried to put Lamar Odom in that category, but Lamar Odom wasn't the shooter that KD was. Lamar Odom didn't have the bag like KD was. So I was just like, man, if you got a son or even a daughter, you could look at KD and be like, you should study him because he could score from the mid range. He could do the stop and pop in the middle. He could get the soft off the glass. He can bang on you. He could extend it from 40 foot. And then on top of that, man, he got the record today. Well, all time leading scorer in USA Olympic history. So man, KD, man, that's a prototypical basketball game that anybody should follow. Yes, I said it.
You watched that game?
No, I didn't.
You watched
I
the
didn't. I
USA
didn't
game this
catch it. I
morning
was.
or no?
I was reporting it though. It was a blowout, anyways. Though.
But listen, let me tell you, like I said, the reason why they lost in that first, like literally, bro. I feel like the USA team starting to realize, like, yo, all right, we play hard defense, and when we need a bucket, give it to fucking KD. bro, like literally, bro. The more I watch these players, bro, the more I realize, yo, I don't want Dame Lillard on my team. Yo, like for a point guard, when you see this man cooking, and then you just say, you know what, let me pull a three. Like, bro, what the fuck is you doing? Are you a point guard, bro? You're not him. You're not like a small forward or a shooting guard. You supposed to be feeding him. Continue that. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like niggas gotta realize, bro. Like if you're gonna play that position, play that position. If not, go to two guard and be free. Like how Kyrie said, fuck it. I want to go to two guard, I'll be free. You know what I'm saying? It just, bro, listen, man. Like in that first, like I said, in that French, when he played French in that first game, the man was in
Mm-hmm.
foul trouble because they had him playing the center or they big man, which gave him into the foul trouble. It's not that he can't handle it; he just can't handle it with the rules in play. Oh, you too aggressive certain times. Oh, all right, I'm gonna let y'all play this round, but you get a little all right. So I can't let you do that. So many situations like that. So you put him at risk by doing that. That's why you have a big man out there. That's why I feel like I said, that was one of the reasons why um, um, Brooklyn lost to Milwaukee. Milwaukee got more size. You know what I'm saying? Like in Golden State, when you had an Andre Iguodala, he's about solid, and he got wingspan. You got a Draymond who's about solid and got a wingspan. When it's just him, Claxton don't have that body frame just like a Iguodala or a Draymond. Give him like a year or two when I'm bulk up, different. Jeff Green, he's not really feeling. He just came off a fracture on ankle and shit like that. So
Oh,
he's
I
not gonna
gotta
put his
stop
left
you.
best
Oh,
foot
I
out.
gotta stop
That's
you.
what.
Wait, what? Let me stop you right there.
Let me
Wait, what?
let me finish. Let me
I
finish.
gotta
Let me
disagree with
finish.
you.
And then
Listen, hold on. No, nah, we gonna stay right there, dude. No, you don't. Claxon is gonna be a beast, bro.
yeah, I know he is. I'm talking about the playoffs. This just passed now. That's why I said give him a year or two. He gonna be nasty. But I'm
He
saying
gonna be
like right
nasty
now,
next year. But go ahead though. He gonna be
yeah,
nasty
yeah.
next year.
Because like I said, who you going against Milwaukee, who got like 4 or 5 guys that's solid, like really like big guys, and then he's out there with a KD. He can do so much. That's why Blake Griffin was such a disappointment because Blake Griffin's sort of step up.
Blake Griffin played. He actually did decent the first couple games, and he lost his momentum, man.
Yeah, bro. Bro, yo, he was playing great, as in like you feel me, like certain time because, like I said, because we were playing with a lead. When we don't play with a lead, and we trying to come back and score back, that's when you need different players, bro. Like dudes can ball when the lead is there because you comfortable. You consciously can just keep going. But when you coming from down, like you know what I'm saying, coming from down, certain players not good for that. And I felt like, Blake, he was doing too many things when he was down and he was falling, putting niggas back on the line, he get take. I'm like, yo, this man not ready. He don't want to be here. Don't want to be here. So,
Well, I mean, listen,
man, like I said,
what y'all trying to do? What y'all trying to do is y'all trying to become more defensive. They've already said that. Y'all trying to become more defensive this year, and I think this is what's gonna help you too. Wait. You already know what I reported earlier about Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni is gonna be, um, taking a step back and a step away from coaching. So this is gonna allow Steve Nash to really, I feel, grow as a head coach or whatever. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I'm not. Hey, listen.
fact,
I know
fact.
what you. Yeah, I know what you thinking. I'm about to say. You think I'm about to say Nash is a trash coach? No, he's not. Actually, Steve Nash for his first year, I think he did. I think he did a good job. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot. There's always room for improvement. Coaching is a chess game. It's not. It's not just uh, hey, Uno, like bread and butter coming out there. And then no, coaching is real difficult. A lot of people think that coaching is easy. It's not. It's not as easy as some people make it seem. But go ahead though, man. My bad.
Like I said, like not only did he ain't do good, he did fucking great. Like you gotta understand, like coming in a pandemic era, that's a different thing. You coming in as a new head coach in the pandemic era, where you can shit. Like, first time you see your fucking players is like one training week, one get ready week, and then that following Sunday and Monday you got a preseason game. You got to go through that too. All your players at certain times have injuries or had to take some times off. So a new head coach, where at times my best player is not allowed to go. Not even like at the beginning, not at the beginning because of injuries. It's because of protocol. Like he got hit like then more than like what twice, 3 times with a 10-day shit, and then you got a compound season. So we got like in 10 days you probably got like 4 games. So you already doing you can that's happening, and then a trade happened, which took off all the depth that you had. You had to be creative. You had to, we had over 45 different lineups in one year. Over 45 different lineups. So just even having a field through, like literally had to use the season as a training aspect to see what we can do now, later, and further on. You know, um, so I really, really, and then go to the second round to go to a game 7. Like, yo, you got tip my hat to the man because that was a great coaching, bro. Great coaches don't even sometimes great coaches don't even make it far. Like like right now, if you ask me who I'd rather have as a coach, and it only with 1 year aspect, I'd rather have Steve Nash than a Steve Kerr. With no all stars, with no superstars, you throw them into a team, Steve Nash will have way more impact than Steve Kerr. Even if Steve Kerr won like 3 rings.
So you feel like him having a superstar in Durant there kind of limited what he could do.
Who, as in Steve Nash?
Yeah.
Like with Steve Nash, he had a situation where he didn't even have his best player or his second best player. I remember they had a game without all their 3 players. You know what I'm saying? And the simple fact that he had to work with that in different aspects. All right, he finally got a point guard. But this point guard, you know what I'm saying, had to go through a transition. And then he had to handle that. Like the fact that and he kept his composure throughout the like you gotta understand, like a lot of times, especially the media was crushing, like, yo, first of all, you coming in and the first thing you hear is, oh, a black coach should be there. He was getting blasted for some racist shit, which American thing. You know what I'm saying? He's from
Oh, who was
Canada.
saying that?
Stephen A. He was leading that shit. Stephen A. Skip Bayless was saying some certain shit. Shannon Sharp. They had little moments of shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that. Yeah, but you know what?
But
That was because
yeah,
what's the name? Jackson had been waiting for Mark Jackson had been waiting for his opportunity.
yeah. I'm not saying Mark Jackson doesn't deserve an opportunity, but like I said, it's like certain situations where certain things fit for certain people. I don't think Mark Jackson was a certain type of player for a Kyrie or a KD. He can handle the light skinned brothers, but I don't think he can handle the dark skinned brothers. The dark skinned brothers, they on some different shit. You know what I'm saying? He caught a Steph Curry when he wasn't nobody. He caught a Klay Thompson when they was nobody. He built them boys up. But you want a Mark Jackson to come through, try to renegade some shit, and then like he didn't win shit. No disrespect, he built something, but he didn't win with it. I got 2 winners already. you gonna try to tell them how the game is properly done and everything. You want them to
You
continue to
said two
grow.
winners. You
Now,
said two winners.
yeah,
Who you-
yeah, and they did, and but listen, I understand Steve Nash didn't win, but the fact that they like a Steve Nash game is so important to a Kyrie, to a James Harden, even to a fucking KD, which who trained them for the last 2 years at Golden State.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that connection already been built.
So
You know what I'm saying?
KD.
And
So really, Steve Nash really got a ring. Wait, what? If we really want to be honest, because
yeah,
he
facts.
got a ring.
Yeah,
He
but I
he was
remember
a,
he
he was
played.
amongst
He
the staff in Golden State. If you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
look
I
at it
heard
like
that.
that.
I heard that he didn't accept it. Yeah, I like they were trying to
Oh,
present
he
him a
didn't
ring too,
accept it.
but I think he didn't really accept it. Yeah, in a way, because like they presented him a ring. Because everybody get a ring if you're in the
Yeah,
organization, like because
yeah,
you're
yeah,
part of that
yeah,
team and everything. He didn't accept it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a nice
yeah.
gesture, but he
Hey,
ain't
that's
take it
respect
like
right
oh yeah,
there.
appreciate that. Like facts. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So like he had a great now like what Phil had with MJ, where what Phil had with Kobe, even with Shaq at times. Phil, like you know what I'm saying, Steve Nash got that with a KD. So when you got a coach and a player connection, that's perfect. That's good for that organization. You don't want to put a Mark Jackson with a KD. What can Mark Jackson teach a KD?
I mean he could
It
do a
was
lot,
for
because
like but compared to a Steve Nash, how much you can learn from a Steve Nash compared to a Mark Jackson. I'm not saying no disrespect to
Mark
Mark Jackson game,
Mark Jackson
but
played in the
but
finals.
yeah, but can he like
He played in the
he could play in
finals,
the finals.
man.
He could play in the finals,
Huh?
but I'm saying that like Steve Nash had more value to give a KD compared to Mark Jackson give him value as in a playing scheme. Like shit that can really like if you ever, just go on YouTube whenever you want. Just look at all them games. There's a documentary with Katie, where he was just working with Steve Nash in two
Yeah, I
different
saw that.
aspects. Because the
I
first time,
already seen that. You talking about
yeah,
the
yeah,
KD documentary?
yeah, he been working with Steve Nash since OKC time, not just in Golden
Yeah,
State, but he been working with Steve Nash
doing those
in OKC
unorthodox,
time.
doing. Hey, wait. He was doing them unorthodox European type drills. You see him? You know, like how he would spin
Yeah,
around,
yeah, yeah.
but it worked though.
On one foot, on one foot.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you gotta think about like if you can be able to be that advantage, I forgot the word, emperor, some shit. It's some Caucasian word where you can be able to do a lot of things. Um, what's the ambidextrous? Some shit like that.
ambidextrous.
He was able to learn. Yeah, he was able to do so many different things on the court. If you ever look at his
Mm,
shot, that's why his shot go in so many different ways. Like as in like, damn, why that shit go wet? You know what I'm saying? So like
right.
that value itself is needed. Like I said, I just need James Harden to be more better on off ball movement. If he could do much better on off ball movement, this team gonna be really, really, really dangerous. Really, really dangerous, bro. Really, really, really dangerous.
I
And
thought
like
he did.
honestly, like if Lamarcus if Lamarcus never got hurt, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That team would have been different, bro. Because like when Lamarcus left, that put more stress on the Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin really supposed to be doing 10 to 12 minutes. But when Lamarcus left, that put a lot more load on him. So he got to go up to 18 to 20. Blake is great 10 to 12. And you up. If you down by 10 to 12, man, don't even bring Blake in. Because he going to give him more points. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And that's because he ain't developed his game. Like I just want to know. I don't think like I don't know if it's too late for Russ. Maybe it is because he waited too long.
But
Man,
but but see, I
But
mean, look,
you got an
if
opportunity with LeBron, who can probably switch it up.
listen to this, if okay, if you look at it like this, okay, because Mark Jackson was a Florida general. Listen, I know, okay, talent wise, Steve Nash, he was better in terms of his shooting, in terms of actually revolutionizing the way with the 7 seconds or less, ushering in that new type of style that everybody's kind of adopted to, because Golden State adopted it, Miami to some degree they adopted it. Several teams that have adopted what Phoenix has done in terms of up and down play, but like in terms of like a point guard that plays the traditional style and really is not really all about the shine and just a prototypical type of point guard to learn from and has had more success than Mark Jackson is going to be that guy. I'm not talking about talent wise. We know what's the name. Steve Nash is better, but I think Mark Jackson could be the one to get a lot of these teams, not just Brooklyn, a lot of these teams that you see now over the hump. Listen, just like Mark Jackson don't get enough credit for the foundation that he laid, Jason Kidd don't get enough credit for the foundation that he laid in Brooklyn. And guess what? I'm not a Brooklyn, Milwaukee. But check this out. If it wasn't for two things, if it wasn't for J Kidd, Giannis wouldn't be discovered. We know that. And then also, he was the one that actually was able to turn Milwaukee around to some degree because I think he made the playoffs after he came from Brooklyn because they made the playoffs in Brooklyn. I think they made it to the semifinals or something like that. Then uh, he came to Washington. He came to Milwaukee. He came there. They made the playoffs, but then they missed the playoffs. Then they made the playoffs. He actually was somewhat successful because he had a 500 he was over 500 for the totality of his career. So, okay, some people might say, okay, well, he didn't get us to the Eastern Conference Championship, or he didn't get us to the finals or anything like that. But he was he was on pace to do that. Because he discovered Giannis, much like with Mark Jackson when it came to him being in Golden State, like you just said, alluded to a few minutes ago, him discovering Clay and Steph and some of them other guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened. So it's we gotta look at them guys that laid the foundation for them guys. Mark Jackson, I feel like he could go to Brooklyn even as an assistant and be great. They got two good point guards that's on a bench. Like put Mark Jackson in D'Antoni's place. I feel more comfortable with that because D'Antoni hasn't been successful in the playoffs.
So so all right, let me do a lot of truth serum. I'm gonna do a lot of truth serum right now. All right, J Kidd, he did not discover Milwaukee Bucks. Coach Budenholzer did all that. Don't disrespect Coach Budenholzer because he had to go through 3 battles of losing in so many different situations to be able to move into the forward position they at right now. Um,
You
like
you
yes,
saying
J
Jason
Kidd,
Kidd wasn't
Jason
successful?
Kidd. I did not say that. Jason Kidd was a successful is too strong of a word to be honest for me. He did success. He had success in certain positions at certain times and in Milwaukee. Is that the success they looking for? Just like how last year, I mean this year they just kind of won? No. But he did have some like peaks and valleys. Like I'm not gonna lie, he had some highs and lows. I'm not gonna say he had some success. He had some highs, definitely giving that coach and player connection with a Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Give him that, that experience that he had to learn sooner or later, and he did. which was great because they finally won the championship. Um, the difference between Jason Kidd and Mark Jackson, what made it so stinging and more of a realization is the next following year, when he got released, they actually won a championship, and which it was the insane part. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they would have spaced out and then the next year, let's say they didn't win in 15 and then they won in 16, that would have been different because, the woes and the information you had to go through to be able to get to that. It go back to Phil Jackson when Doug Collins was the Chicago Bulls, and then right when Jerry, the GM, when he made that move to put that position, that's when they started winning. So you can say that same thing about Phil in the concept way, but we don't do that because the consistency of you can see the value of, yeah, he got them there, but he got them to the next level. I'm not sure I can say that about a Steve Kerr. That's why the debate is still up in the air because Steve Kerr, I don't know, because like I'm saying, I gotta see this year. This is the real question. Like this year gonna be a real eye opener, and I will eat crow if Steve Kerr can maybe get the Golden State Warriors to the finals because that means it shows that he actually been coaching. He probably had some highs and lows, and but the simple fact that okay, the next following year you won a championship, the next following
What?
year you missed the final, and then
Well,
the
he
following
didn't get
year
a
you
chance.
had two more rings.
He didn't get a chance. Remember, wait,
But
what he was let go. When I'm talking about a kid, because okay, he made it. He made it in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? He actually, he did pretty decent. But for it being his first year, he had a win
but
percentage of 537. Then the very next year he was right at 500. You know what I'm saying, with the Milwaukee Bucks in 2015. He made the playoffs, but they were bounced out in the first round. That very next season they didn't make it. You know what I'm saying, and then he came back in 2017 and he made the
Budenholzer,
playoffs. They were about, huh? You said
nah,
what?
Budenholzer came in and Budenholzer
No,
came in at
no,
what 8-17, right? Cause he been the
no. He came in at 18. That's what I'm saying. Let me. He came in at he was at the. That's why I was just getting ready to it. Just bear with me. He didn't make the playoffs in 2017, and then in 2018 he was let go at the middle of the season because he only played 45 games. But guess what? They were at 500 though, and guess what? You know what I'm saying? They I don't think they didn't have no success, and then that's when you ended up. It took a while off. Then that very, in 2020 he was with the Lakers, and then from then on or whatever. But see, the reason why I mentioned that though was because that his record was at 23 and 2022 when they let him go in 2018. So he was still over 500, but we wouldn't have never known, okay, how he would have been able to finish. You know what I'm saying? He was at 500 in comparison to 2016. He was at 40.7. He had a 40.7 winning percentage. They were at 33 and 48 that season.
come on, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. You capping for not capping, but you caping. You caping for Jason Kidd.
Oh,
You
well,
caping for him.
nah.
Like you,
Well, you gotta. First off, when you say capping, what I'm
no, no,
telling you,
no, no, I
what,
didn't say
what, no,
capping. I
no,
said caping.
no,
Playing
capping,
different words.
caping
I
is
said
all the
cape.
damn same. Listen, listen, man.
It's not,
What I'm, you don't, I don't think you understanding what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is that when right out the gate, and this is for your team, for Brooklyn, he made it to the second round, bro. That was in 2014. You remember when he had Paul Pierce and all them?
bro. I ain't gonna lie to
That
you.
was right
Like
out the
Polo.
gate.
It's different. It's different from Mark Jackson because the simple fact that when Mark Jackson got fired, the next exact year they won a championship. For Jason Kidd, when he got fired, 3 years later they won a championship. So I can't say Jason Kidd, you know what I'm saying? Nah, that's all Buzenholzer. Like that's all him. Mark
Nah,
Jackson.
man.
Only reason I say it's like it's a question. Not for real though, cause it took them 3 years, bro. You can't tell me a
Oh, right,
loss
right, right.
in 18, a loss in
But
19, and a loss in 20 for Milwaukee,
they didn't
and
even.
then this year they went over the hump, and that's the
But they
same
didn't have
amount
to play
that
it. They didn't have
and that's
some
the
of the
same
same.
amount.
They didn't have some of the same
But let me.
personnel. They
But you
switched
gotta
off a lot of
understand
the.
though, he still had to. But this man had 4 years, just like
He
Buzenholzer
took
had 4 years. Buzenholzer got his shit at the last of.
he took a
I'm saying
chance
Buzenholzer
on Giannis.
got his shit. Bro, what you mean? He did not
He was
listen.
the
Listen.
one that took a chance on
He did
Giannis.
not take a chance on
Giannis
him.
was barely playing. Do you know how? Do
No,
you
he
know?
did not.
Do you
Milwaukee took a chance.
do you know?
Milwaukee
Hold
took a
on. Do
chance
you
on him.
know how much he was averaging his first season?
Bro, listen,
Nobody even
Milwaukee.
knew about Giannis when he came in.
Yeah, bro, Milwaukee did. Milwaukee front office
No,
did. Don't.
Jason Kidd did.
Nah,
What
you
position?
can't.
Hold,
Hey,
no, 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 no. First off, let me ask you this. What's up, Big Who? I see you in the building. Let me ask you this. Since you know so much, what position did Giannis play his second year?
I don't know.
He
Power
played
forward.
point guard.
Listen, I know he was trying to develop him
He
into doing all
played
the other
point
shit.
guard.
But my thing is this though, but Giannis was picked by Milwaukee Bucks. So Milwaukee knew what they were finna grab into it. You
They
know what
were
I'm
about to
saying?
give up on him.
I'm nah, they wasn't, bro. Don't do that.
Yes, they
Because
was.
if they was
They
about
were
to give
going
up,
to
if
leave
they
him on
wasn't,
the bench, man. Nobody was
bro,
even letting that dude play, man. When
stop,
listen, it
bro,
was
stop.
Jason Kidd that inserted him. No, I'm serious. You don't even remember. You
No,
don't even remember Giannis, do you?
I'm just saying, like,
Do you remember Giannis when he first
I'm just
came
talking
in?
about, bro. I'm just trying to
You
tell you
see
the
what I'm
difference
saying?
between a Jason Kidd. No, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm just trying to get this point across. I wasn't even trying to like debate. Like I'm just telling you, um,
No, it's all
um,
good.
Jason Kidd don't have Jason Kidd don't have that same cliche to, if it was a Mark Jackson as in saying like, yo,
That's not
if I
true.
had one more year, I could have done something. You can't say that for Jason
The-
Kidd. No, you can't, bro. I'm telling you,
yes,
it
you
took them
can
three
because
years
he right
later
out
to
the
get that.
gate.
It took them.
Right out of the
It took.
gate at Brooklyn, he went to
It
the
took them.
second round.
It wait, come on, bro. Like. I'm not
When
even
he
talking. I'm
was
talking about
with
Jason Kidd as in when he went to Milwaukee.
but no, I know that. But I'm
I'm
giving
talking
you
about. I'm talking about when he went with Milwaukee.
right. But I'm saying I'm making a point here. He came in right out of the gate, right? And he's a first year coach. Okay, Steve Nash was a first year coach and made it to the finals. That's phenomenal. You're saying, hey, that's great. Pandemic year, all this other stuff, right? Jason Kidd it might have not been as successful, but to a degree he was successful because he went with Brooklyn. I'm just talking about Brooklyn. Exit Milwaukee for right now. I'm making a point.
Okay.
He came in right out the
All right.
gate at a 537 win percentage, made it to the second round. Never had any head coaching experience or any of that. That is something to actually build on if you look at it, because it's second round, dang, he made it to the second round. Okay, maybe next year he'll get. You understand what I'm saying? So that's something
Yeah.
to
Let me ask you a
build on.
question.
Now, go ahead.
You is that so you call that coaching right there where he did great, right? That was some great coaching,
What
right?
with Brooklyn?
For his first year. Yeah, for
With
Jason Kidd first year, that was some great coaching, right?
decent, yeah, for a first year coach, yeah, that's phenomenal.
Then why
For a
you don't keep that
first
same? Why
year,
you don't keep
and
that
who
same
never
energy
had
for
any
Steve
head
Nash?
coaching experience.
Why you don't keep that same energy for Steve Nash?
No, I gave him his flowers. I said it was good. I said he had a great year. Depending on how you want to
Mm,
look at it, because he didn't really have no superstars or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Not like KD on Brooklyn.
what you mean? What you mean? He had a Paul Pierce. He had a Kevin
Yeah,
Garnett.
Paul
They
Pierce was
just
not
made
the
that move. Yo, stop, bro.
that was
Yo,
not the
stop it.
same Paul
Stop it.
Pierce. Don't
They
even
was in a
try that, bad
prime.
boy.
Yo, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yo, Polo,
Paul
Polo,
Pierce,
stop it right now. Because if we go back
you,
in
well,
Polo,
you
if we
keep
go back
moving
in
the
that time right
goalposts,
now,
man.
listen. No, Polo. If me and you right now go back in time right now and not
Uh
do
huh.
nothing, just watch
And I like
the
Paul Pierce.
hype
Paul
of
Pierce was my
how
boy.
Paul, because they, the hype they had for Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, because they just made that trade. That trade was the hugest
Yeah,
trade
I
in like
know, I
that.
know.
That was the
But
whole thing talking about the fact that I'm saying. So the stardom, the stars value, it was still there. You know what I'm saying? They're
yeah,
not the
but
same
he
players,
wasn't he
like
wasn't
as
the
in like a KD, because
superstar
KD is
that
not
you
the same
talking about.
player
They
for
had other
anybody.
players couple there.
Stop it. They had Brooke Lopez. They had a whole squad.
I know. No,
Squad.
no. That's what I'm saying. Brooke Lopez was the guy that remember. He was the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but he
It
was
was
a guy who had the
Lopez.
highest
It was
points.
KG wanted to work with. KG always loves working with bigs. He wanted to be a mentor
Oh.
to Brooke Lopez. Paul Pierce
Yo, they
wanted to
was
be a mentor to Brooke Lopez.
no. Don't do that
Yes, they
because when
did.
they did no, hold on, let me finish.
Oh
They
my
could
God,
they
he already
but
said it.
they was champion contenders. They were booked for champion contenders that first year. So
I
so
know, but
so don't
KG said he loved the opportunity to work with a big and Brooke Lopez. They used to go to
I'm not
dinners and
saying
all that stuff like that. He was really
yeah.
mentoring Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, but that team was still a championship contender. And Brook Lopez was not the
I
first.
said
He
that.
was in the first option. He wasn't in the second option, and he wasn't the third option. He was like
Who
down there the
wasn't?
fourth or fifth option. That's
Who?
Brook Lopez was not the first option.
No, he
Brook Lopez.
wasn't. No, he
That's what I'm saying. He
wasn't.
wasn't the first, second.
He was the
Listen to
first
what I'm saying, Polo.
option. Dog. Brooke
No, Polo, you
Lopez was on.
tripping.
He was an
Yo,
all-star. What are you talking about?
so Brook Lopez was leading them to a championship? No, it was Paul Pierce and
No, I didn't say
KG.
that. No, see, I
No,
didn't say that. I didn't say that.
bro. No, I'm
But this is,
saying, but that's the value of the team. Come
I
on,
know.
man.
No. Listen, hold on. Listen, okay. So
I'm here.
what are you saying? You're saying that the more important players were KG and Paul Pierce at the time. That's what you're saying.
The
Is
most
that what you're trying to insinuate?
you, I don't want to say important, but they had to have the work share. Like it had to go through
Okay.
them first before I go through Lopez. Because if I'm
Okay.
saying,
All right.
because if they were saying championship for that team, it wasn't led because of Brook Lopez. It would be led because they had. Let me finish. They had Paul Pierce. They had KG. They had Joe fucking Smooth Johnson. They had Williams, Darron Williams. Shout out to that one. They had Book Lopez. They had a fucking squad. So that's why I say he wouldn't even be in the fifth. He wouldn't even be the first option. He wasn't even the second option. He wasn't even
That's
the
not
third
true.
option. He wasn't even the
Not
fourth
true.
option. He was a valuable
True.
fifth option. Get out of here, bro. Because
Not true.
so at the end of the game, who they were giving the ball to? Joe Johnson or they were giving it to Brook Lopez?
They're giving it to Joe Johnson. He was
Oh,
the best. He was the best shot maker at that time. I understand that. But Brooke Lopez, listen, since you want to go there, who was leading the
I'm
team in
there.
scoring in 2014?
In 2014,
Yeah, it was Brooke. Don't
I gotta look that
don't
up.
even answer it. I'll answer it for you. It was Brooke Lopez. He was at 20 point. He
So,
averaged 20.7. You know how? Hold on. You know how much Joe Johnson averaged?
but are these rhetoricals or you just fucking with me? Because if these
No,
rhetoricals, bro, go ahead and
15.8.
answer them.
He averaged 15.8. Okay. You know how much Deron Williams averaged?
16.5.
No, it was 14.3. Okay, you know how much
I was
Paul
close.
Pierce averaged since you're talking about the truth and all this other stuff. He was at the tip of his prime. Guess what he averaged?
13.5. 13.5.
13.5. Brooke Lopez was the best player on that squad. However, we got to remember,
Yo,
uh,
stop it.
Brooke Lopez only played 17 games. So we wouldn't have never known how he would have been, but and how he would have panned out. He was 25 and he was still young. We wouldn't have never known, but he was averaging the most out of everybody before he had got hurt. So if you want to look at it
Man,
like that, really is
you man, Polo, you sick, man.
Joe Johnson was the leading scorer of that squad. It wasn't Paul Pierce. And KG wasn't even in double
First of
figures.
all,
He only
yeah.
averaged 6.5. Plus, he only played 54 games.
Listen. Like I said, that's why I said if we go back, if me and you hop in a time travel and go back, obviously
Hmm.
we got the numbers now. You can show me, you can talk about the numbers now, but the perception of who those players was, you cannot tell me in 2014, yeah, Brook Lopez, yeah, he's the best player on this team. He's gonna lead this team. No, my boy, it was always because Brooklyn was just established like what 2 years prior to 2014, maybe, and then
Right.
they traded everything, first rounds, everything. They gave motherfucking Boston. By the way, Boston, ah, yo, because they just got done. They finished. They just got done with. They finished. Bro, Boston worst probably. They got Jason Tatum off that shit. They got Jason Tatum. No, Jason Tatum came with a regular Boston pick. I think it was Jalen Brown. That's the only thing they got from that hiatus.
What you talking
They
about?
robbed. I'm talking about when
When Boston?
Boston took everything from Brooklyn and gave them
Oh, you talking
KG
about
and
when they
gave
played
them
against
no, I'm talking about when they traded KG, Paul Pierce, like 2013, 2014, when they traded all them
Yeah,
players to
right.
Brooklyn because Brooklyn was going all in. They were going all in in the
Well,
first or
KG
two
was
second year
37
of
at
being
that time.
established.
Wait, well, he was 37. He was kind of
Bruh,
starting to slow
LeBron is
down.
30. LeBron is 30.
But
LeBron is
they
37 right now, and he's still leading.
listen, LeBron's he's having a better twilight year of his career. KG was 37, and plus KG, you know KG's style, man. KG does so much on the floor. For he was a defensive anchor, banger. You know what I'm saying? And KG is notorious for working out before games. So you know his body was starting to slow down, and so was Paul Pierce. He was 36 years old too. Joe Johnson was slowing down too. He only averaged 15.8. Joe Johnson is a 20-point scorer for his entire career, even though he was 32. But nevertheless, he wasn't the same like he was in
Hey,
Atlanta.
you think he still can play in the league?
Who? Joe Johnson? Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen him in the TBT tournament.
yeah, man, that nigga looking nasty right now.
Yeah, he's nice, man. But he signed with Detroit, remember? And then I think you know he was let go. It was after the big three or whatever.
Mm. Nah, they cleaned up, bro. Detroit ain't gonna use
Remember
those.
he was with the big three.
Yeah, he was mutting that shit. He was killing that shit.
Hmm. I
Um,
like I like Joe Johnson's game.
yeah.
I like his game. But okay, I will give you your point on what you're saying. You're saying that Paul Pierce it still had to go at the end of the day. It still had to go through Paul Pierce. But the only thing that I was just trying to tell you is that Brook Lopez was that main guy going into that season until he had got hurt, but they still made it. Remember they had Sean Livingston too. and Sean Livingston,
Yeah,
they were questioning him. Go
cause
ahead, you
back in
got
the
it.
days at that time, they were running the ball through the center, then the outside. It's not like how it is now, where the outside to the inside. So obviously, like yeah, definitely feed Brook because he got them 7 feet. He in
But
the
they did
paint,
it without him,
and
though.
that shit is
They
down.
did. Yeah, I gotta give. Hey, listen, y'all. One thing that I do, I gotta give Way what man. He got a good point though, because Brook Lopez didn't play throughout he only played 17 games, and you can't really, what if Paul Pierce played 75, Sean Livingston played 76, Joe Johnson played 79, Deron Williams played 64, Kevin Garnett played 54. Blatch, that's the guy that really stepped up. Remember, Blatch really stepped up, and he played 73. I remember that. And then of course y'all had Karolinko too, AK-47. Y'all also had Plumlee. He was young then. Plumlee. Yeah, I had an old ass Jason Terry. I remember that. So, wait, what got a point, man? I think wait, what fell out. Hopefully, if wait, what comes back in, we can get right to it. But other than that, man, good show today. I appreciate wait, what for pulling up, man. Really giving his perspective on everything. Listen, I'm gonna say this, okay? Everybody's everybody's body is not the same. We all know that, okay? When it comes to CP3, you can't compare his body type in year 18 or year 19 to LeBron because it's different. And just like what I was saying just a second ago, you can't compare your body type to somebody of like a KG or something like that because of what they do on a regular. Everybody that goes in the NBA, their whole goal is to play at the highest level for as long as they can. But it's just unfortunate that some guys don't pan out. They don't pan out that long. They just don't pan out that long. Uh, I am gonna say this though, for CP3, he has a good solid 2 years, 2 to 3 years left. You know, I mean, just from looking at him play, he got a good solid 2 to 3 years. It's not like he's running up and down the court and he's huffing and puffing after 2 or 3 trips down the floor. Then you'll be like, okay, I'm starting to question this guy's motor. Is this guy can this guy last that long? So, like I said, man, hopefully CP3 will be able to continue on the next 3 years doing what he's devoted and what he loved to do. And more importantly, he'll continue to be a mentor to some of those guys on the team. I would like to see Cameron Payne and take his game take off. I feel like his game definitely needs to take off. He stepped up big when CP3 wasn't there or wasn't 100%. So that's something to look for. That's something that the Suns are going to be looking at and stuff. So Y'all tell me what you think, man. I appreciate all of my subs for tuning in. I appreciate Big Who. I thank you for pulling up to the channel. And Jacob Jennings, I thank you for pulling up too. And Don Lovato, I thank y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. Always a pleasure, man. Till then, man, Lions Den, we up in this. Make sure you like this video, share it, subscribe. Also, if you're not a member of the channel, and hit the notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my streams and all of my videos. Though, until then, man, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT. I'll holler at y'all. Y'all have a good one.